Hi, everyone, and welcome to this session of Consciousness Engineering. So I work with about 200 authors through our publishing company, Mindvalley. But there is one author that consistently has the highest response by all of you on our list, all 2 million of our subscribers, and that's Christy Marie Sheldon. Christy is one of my personal coaches, so I work with her on issues and challenges I'm facing in my life every few months or so, and she has this incredible magical ability. Magic is a strong word, I know, but I can't think of any other way to describe it. After working with Christy, weird stuff seems to happen in my life, stuff that I would never expect, insights, synchronicities that seem to move me towards solving the problems I go to her for. Like, for example, I remember speaking to her once because I was having an issue with growing my business. And the next month, I had my biggest ever sales month. There was another time when I had fears of hiring too many people because our business was growing, and I felt that if I hired beyond X number of people, I would lose my freedom. And working with Christy, she was able to see that I had a mental block around the idea of hiring people and freedom. She cleared that block. And I even forgot about that session because it took 20 minutes. But 3 months later, I ended up having one of my biggest ever hiring months, and we literally doubled the company. And we've been doing that over and over and over again ever since. See, Christy has got this gift. She's able to see subconscious blocks, insidious little blocks that you have in every area of your life: health, wealth, relationships, stuff that you don't realize you have in your mind. She's somehow energetically able to see that in individuals. And then she helps you clear it through a particular healing process that she works with. And the results are pretty insanely powerful. I recommend Christy to almost all my high-level friends in technology and media. She works with some of the smartest, most amazing people in the world. So we are really, really excited to have you joining us on this session, Christy Marie. How are you doing?
Oh, great. Thank you so much for having me. I love connecting to people who want, change and growth and something positive.
So in this session, Christy, you're going to teach the members of Consciousness Engineering something that you've never thought publicly before in a free teleclass. And what you're basically going to do is teach us a process, and I'm going to say it in my words, and I'd love for you to explain it in your words as well. Teach us a process where we can ask ourselves a series of questions that help us understand what blocks we have. Of course, the 3,000 or so people listening on this don't have the ability to work with you one-on-one, so you can read their blocks. So you're going to teach them a series of questions so they get to detect their own blocks. They get to figure out at what age those blocks came into them, and then you're going to show them how to heal those energetic blocks. And
yeah,
go on.
Well, yeah, and these subconscious blocks are basically, what's ruining people's lives. All of us have goals and things that we want to accomplish, but of course, we always ask, well, why is it that I can't fix this part of my life? And so I'm going to help people learn how to fix those parts of their life that are just kind of messy.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait. So let's get started.
All right. So the very first thing I believe that we need to talk about is actually awareness, okay? So at the end of the day, we need to, if we're not aware that we have a subconscious block or what parts of our lives that we really want to shift, then we're just, doing the same thing over and over and over again. So I want people to just kind of relax for a minute and kind of tune in. And I'm going to ask you a series of questions on each part of your life so you can get like a general assessment of where you are. So scale of 1 to 10, 10 being totally thrilled and happy with this part of your life, and 0 being, I just want to fix every part of it. Scale of 1 to 10 with your relationships. So pick the most significant relationship in your life, and scale of 1 to 10, 10 being happy. How happy are you? And just kind of allow the thought to come in, okay? This is not like a mental thinking thing. It's sort of like a real awareness from a soul level. Where is that part of your life stuck at? All right. And so we'll go into the relationship with yourself. Like, how happy, scale of 1 to 10, are you with yourself? Okay. Scale of 1 to 10, thinking about wealth and abundance. Okay, so scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you with your wealth and abundance? Okay, and scale of 1 to 10, How happy are you with your career, what you actually go to do every day? You know, our career, we're there for, 8, 9, 10 hours a day, most often. And scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you with it? Okay. All right. Your health. So your overall health in your body, this physical container for your soul. Scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you with it? Okay, awesome. Okay, and now we're gonna think about like your spirituality, like your connection to source, how, and I also like to say this as manifesting, because in a way, if you're connected to source and you're connected to manifesting and making things happen in your life, they're very intertwined. So scale of 1 to 10, spirituality and manifesting what you want in your life, how happy are you? Okay, perfect. All right. Now you can go through each other significant relationship in your life. You could go with your mom, your dad, and anyone that's been a powerful influence in your life and see how happy you are with those relationships, your kids, of course. And, but you can also break down each level of these and ask more questions about each topic. So for instance, one of the main things that I work with people on is abundance. And so in abundance, there's lots of different flows that happen with abundance. So one of which is, are you good at keeping the money? Okay, so let's just say a scale of 1 to 10 with your wealth and abundance, how good are you at keeping this money? Okay, scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at creating this abundance? 10 being thrilled and happy. Okay, and then how about receiving money? So if somebody gives you something, are you the kind of person that says, oh, no, you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have done that? Or do you just receive it and say, thank you so much for thinking of me? Okay, scale of 1 to 10. Okay, and how about deserving? All right, so if the universe just wrote you a big fat check, scale of 1 to 10, knowing that you deserve it. Now, this isn't a logical thing. This is really a like inside your soul deserving thing. So allow the answer to just kind of pop in your head. Okay, perfect. Okay. So now that you kind of have a little bit of an assessment on your general theme of your life and the different, like we went into the different parts of abundance, I'm going to go into abundance if that's okay with everyone. And we'll go into the whole energy of keeping the money as an example. And I'm going to show you the technique for how you can now assess where is the real block or belief that's holding you back with this. So for instance, let's just say you had, on a scale of 1 to 10, you had a 7 come up as far as I'm able to keep my money. So that means there's like 30% of you or so that's kind of got some other subconscious beliefs kind of rooting around there, okay? And usually in my work, I found that the main core beliefs that we get programmed with or imprinted with usually happen before the age of 7. So when I'm looking at a client's energy field, I'm kind of peering in there and I'm kind of getting ages and dates and kind of details about where they picked up this subconscious belief and how it got imprinted in them. And generally speaking, it usually comes from the people who are around us the most, because as a kid, you're like a little sponge and you're learning how to be a people and you're taking in everybody else's energy that's all around you. And you're learning how people look at money, for instance, or look at life, and then we soak that in. So that's where a lot of our core beliefs come from. Now, later on in life, you might think, oh, I don't want to be like my mom or my dad. But the problem is, if you actually already subconsciously took all this energy in, you're now kind of stuck with it. Okay? And you could be 40, 50 years old, and you have no clue that you have this weird belief that's kind of just stuck there underlying, kind of hitting you every day and stopping you from being able to keep your money, as an example. Okay, so in my work, what I found is that if we connect to a higher frequency and start asking questions, then we'll be able to kind of go in there and find out where did this belief really come from? And the most surprising thing for most people when they do this is they'll think of things that they haven't thought of for years and they completely forgot about, and they realize, oh my gosh, that's still in me. Okay, so as far as if scale of 1 to 10, keeping money, okay, I want you to ask this question. So just kind of think of connecting to the higher frequency of light. So just imagine that a lot of light is pouring into your head and your heart, your throat, and your body. Yeah, I can feel everyone kind of shift there. Okay, and I want you to ask this problem, or ask this question. At what age is the first age that you decided that keeping money was somehow hard or negative? So at what age is the first age that you decided that keeping money was hard or negative? And usually an age will just kind of pop in. Okay, so now we're going to ask some other questions about this, because you probably got an answer of some age that you hadn't even thought of. You know, why would it be stuck there? Okay, so I want you to ask this question. Regarding this belief about not being able to keep money, did you pick this up from your mom, from your dad? Is it your own belief? Or did you pick it up from somebody around you? So your mom, your dad, yourself, or somebody else around you? Okay, now I want to show you that these beliefs oftentimes have literally a mass or an energy. Okay, when somebody comes to me and they say, Christy, my shoulder always hurts, the very first thing I do is I look in there and find out what kind of beliefs that they usually have going on, because it's usually a mass of beliefs or energy that they're hiding from themselves that they've shoved in their shoulder, for instance.
So, Christy, so let me ask you this. So, because I had an interesting experience, and I want to make sure that everyone is also following. So there's a series of questions that we start by asking ourselves about relationships or money or our health. And then we rank ourselves. And what I found really interesting was I would get rankings from like 2 out of 10 on my relationship with my dog. Seriously, I got a 2 out of 10 because I gave him away to my mom because with a young kid running around the house, we couldn't deal with him. And then I would get 10s on certain things. And they would come really, really, really fast. So that's the first part of it, right?
Yeah, and thank you for mentioning that it comes really fast, because a true intuitive hit comes really, 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 really quickly.
Right. It's almost like the first thought that comes into your head without you processing it.
Yes. If it takes longer than 3 seconds, you went into your mind and you're kind of making up a story about it.
Right.
So thanks for bringing that up.
And like in the words of Jose Silva, he says it almost feels as if you're making it up. It feels like you're guessing, but it's the first thought that enters your head, and you just have to let it happen. Then the second thing is, once you detect certain things that you score low on, you ask yourself at what age it came to you.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
and then you can ask yourself another question: did it come from your mom or your dad, or someone else?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so just to share what I experienced, to make sure we're all experiencing this together. So mine was keeping money, and immediately this really vivid image came to me of being in the backseat of a car when I was maybe 8 or 9 or 10 years old, and hearing my parents, it was my birthday, I was in the backseat of my car, and I heard my parents having a conversation about how finances were tight and how they needed to go conservative on my birthday gift. And they thought I was asleep, but I was really awake listening to them. Right.
Okay, interesting, because now if you would have received a gift, you'd probably feel badly about it because you know it's causing some sort of, weird energy with your parents.
Right. So that is the kind of experience that would be correct?
Yes, exactly. And it's perfect. And now some people listening, this happens rarely, but sometimes this will happen. When I ask these questions, sometimes, Vishen, the energy just comes up for people and they get like a feeling or a sensation, and they don't always get clear images. And that's okay too, because we're just pulling the file up, and I'm going to teach you guys how to clear it. But yeah. So for those of you who are going, I didn't get any image,
Right.
I'm going to go into another part of it that you can probably assess that maybe you had a feeling about it.
I see. Okay. Well, please
Okay,
continue.
Okay. So so regarding this keeping money, okay, so you had an age pop up, and then you probably had an awareness of where you might have bought it from. I say you bought and sold this belief because nobody really does these beliefs to us. At some level, we agreed and took it into our field. And usually we agreed because we want mom or dad's love and approval. But we agreed. So we're not really victims. I like to say that because it sounds like we're picking on mom and dad.
Right.
But anyway, so I want you to think of, what came up for you, keeping money. And then I want you to ask inside if this energy had a feeling or emotion to it. What's the emotion or feeling that comes up? Is it sadness, anger, guilt, fear? Okay, what's the main emotion attached to this? Okay, and now some of you will actually have a visceral feeling and you'll feel it in your body or around your body, kind of pushing on your body, okay? So where in your field of energy that's either in, on, or around you, like 3 feet all the way around you usually, where do you feel this belief? So it's kind of funny because I'm tuning in. I'm really psychic, so I could I could see in visions where some of the this belief is like impacting in his field. So it's kind of cool.
Where did you see it in my field?
Well, I saw it in a couple different places, but I saw it in your right hip. And right side of the body, just in my little psychic world, is usually the right side of the body is like about moving forward. So at some level, it was blocking you from a little bit going forward. And I saw it behind your back. So about 1.5 feet behind your back. And then I saw a little bit in your head, like right up here.
I see.
So where did you get it?
I felt it more in this part of my body. Where's
interesting.
The heart is on the right or the left?
Left.
Left, right. So I felt it over here, right around my heart.
Yeah. Now, when you're talking about that, though, I can see it. So you went more in your body. I was hanging out more outside your body, looking. Okay. So that's what I mean. It can be in more than one spot. So I'm happy that we kind of brought that up. Yeah, because when you tuned into your emotion, that's where you went. You went right into your heart. Is what it feels like.
Right.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So now let's clear this belief. Okay. So light is a higher frequency. Okay, so light is like gratitude and love and positivity and awareness and being happy about all things, right? And so we're going to bring in that kind of energy and we're going to just ask it to start dismantling whatever the belief is or that just came up. So how I do this is I ask everyone to connect to the light. So again, we just take our energy up 300 feet where we see, sense, or feel the light. And we all naturally do this when we pray, okay? So when we say, hey, I'm going to meditate or pray about it, and allow this light to come into the top of your head, just kind of streaming in, and just think I'm going to be connected to the source of all things, and I'm going to allow this light to instantly start dismantling this belief. So allow it to come into your head, and your third eye, and your ears. And I see it as a stream of light, or sometimes I see it as liquid light, and it just comes through. Okay, and allow this light to wash into your heart, and your stomach, and your hips. And allow this light to just go through your legs and your feet. And believe it or not, in the center of the planet, there's also a very supportive kind of quality of love or energy. And I want you to ask that you connect to that supportive quality. Okay, so you're basically in this big beam of light, allowing this light to permeate all parts of you and fill you up. Okay, perfect. And once you feel kind of safe and secure, like you're connected, I want you to imagine that this light from the center of the planet that feels like mother's love just kind of comes slowly up your legs, into your hips, and into your heart, and expands all the way around you. So it's basically like you're connected from above and below, and it connects in your heart. And see it just kind of expand and start filling your field of energy. So see it like your heart's a big sunshine, and it's just going to start beaming out light. So wherever you had this visceral feeling of this belief about keeping money, what I would love for you to do is take this light and really just fill in that part. And basically, when I say clear and transmute, you're basically washing away. And transmutation is basically instantly vaporizing. So you're clearing and transmuting and instantly vaporizing whatever that core belief is that you feel in your field. So when I'm watching Vishen energetically do this, and I saw him take a lot of light into his heart, and then I saw him take a lot of light and just push all the energy out 3 feet all the way around him into his energy field. Okay, perfect. And I don't know if he felt that, but I saw a big click of energy just leave his back from behind you.
Right, I was imagining that.
Yeah, I saw this energy just went go poof. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now, whatever that belief is, okay, here's how you can tell if there's still some energy left on it. So when you think of that belief about scale of 1 to 10 keeping money, and that age or the event that kind of popped in, try to think about it again right now and see if it feels different. So for some of you, if you've cleared it all the way, it'll just be kind of an interesting thought that feels like it's outside of you. It doesn't feel like it's attached to you in some way. It doesn't feel heavy. It'll feel kind of light and like, oh, okay, whatever. Usually when I clear something and somebody, they go, oh, I can't even really think about that anymore because it's not in their field. So Vishen, can you still think of that event? Or does it seem further away?
Yeah, when I think about the event now, initially it seemed very close, like I was actually there in the backseat of the car. Now it seemed distant and fuzzy, like the memory isn't as strong.
Right. Okay, perfect. Now, so for those of you, just in case there's somebody that's still kind of holding on to that belief or that feeling, I want you to just imagine one more time that a lot of light comes in and it just instantly vaporizes, pushes away. Thank you very much for this belief, but I don't need you anymore. Thank you for showing yourself to me, because it gave you a gift at some level. It you know, you were trying to love your mom and dad and you didn't want to receive, you know, because you thought that was the most loving act in that moment, right?
Right.
So there was a gift in it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so again, everyone, just think of that event and see if it still has any energy charge. Okay, and I want to go, I'm going to just ask one more time because I like to do this, because on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you can keep your money, where are you guys at? And hopefully that number is raised. And if it hasn't raised, totally fine. It just means that there's some other beliefs that are still stuck there, okay? So I'll do this one more time just to show people that there still might be some things on it. So I want you to ask, at what age is the first age that you decided you could not keep money? So what age is the first age that you decided you could not keep money? And see if another thought comes in. And again, it's the very first thought. Okay, perfect. Did you pick that up from mom, dad, yourself, or someone else? Okay, perfect. And does it have any emotion attached to it? So what would the main emotion be? And where do you feel it in, on, or around your body? So where do you feel it in, on, or around your body? Okay, cool. All right, so I want you to just bring in a lot of light, and I want you to ask to transmute and clear it. So bring in light wherever you felt it in, on, or around you, and just imagine this light kind of blowing it up like little fireworks. Just pushing it out of your field. Thank you so much for this belief, but I don't need you anymore. It's time to go. I'm going to clear and transmute you across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Okay, awesome. Wow. So I saw Vishen's energy just really expand right there. It's perfect. A lot of energy leaving behind your neck too.
And it's funny what comes up.
Yeah. So is it a totally different age and all that kind of stuff?
Well, for me, for the audience listening, I don't know what you're experiencing, but I hope you are getting these little nuggets of information, and they will feel like guesses. For me, I was 17 years old, 17 or 18, and my physics teacher was telling me that that my grades sucked, and I was going to make a lousy engineer. Being an engineer was the only way to make money, and so I would not get a good job, because low-grade engineers earn significantly less. A really bizarre conversation with my physics teacher at that time.
Right. It was probably only, it wasn't, you would probably never think of that as a significant moment,
Yeah.
Right?
But I realized what he was essentially telling me is that I wasn't smart enough to make enough money.
Right. Okay, perfect. So that's great. So now let's just ask as a group, scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you can keep your money. Did that number go up? Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you can easily keep your money. I can, because I'm kind of tuned in, I can actually feel that a lot of people's numbers just went up. They're going, weird, this is weird. I love it. All right, so now I'm going to go to the energy of making money, okay? Creating money, creating abundance. All right, so scale of 1 to 10, you got your number for scale of 1 to 10, how easy it is for you to create or make your money. Okay, what's the first age that you decided that creating and making money was not easy? So what is the first age that you decided that creating or making money is not easy? And did you pick this up from your mom, from your dad, from yourself, or someone else? And what's the main emotion that's attached to this? What is the main emotion attached to this? All right, and if this had a feeling that you could feel in, on, or around your body, where do you feel this in, on, or around your body? Okay, so I want you to bring in a lot of light now, and I want you to ask it to go into those spaces, and I want you to clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. I want you to ask this light to just come in and blow it all up. In, on, and around your body, clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Okay, and I want you to think of whatever came up for you, whatever that event is or that picture, and I want you to ask, or just kind of notice, is it out of your field, or does it still feel like there's some energy on it? If there's still some energy on it, that just means that there's another part of it that kind of wants to be acknowledged. So it's like, thank you so much for being a part of my life. Thank you for, showing up as a survival mechanism, because we usually do this for love or survival. And I don't need you anymore. So we're going to clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. We're going to clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. So just imagine lots of light coming into that place, instantly vaporizing it. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, so I'm going to ask one, we're going to go to like another one of these. I'm going to ask the question one more time.
So Christy, just before you go on, a question, okay? I know the answer because we've spoken about this, but for the purpose of everyone here, you say across all time and space, and what is that phrase you use?
Okay, across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. So basically a story, okay, what happened in this event in your life, it's basically a story, right? And the story, in order for you to visualize it or call it up right now, you have basically taken that energy in a certain moment of time in a certain space, like it could have been whatever, New York City or, wherever you are. And you made it part of your reality. And it's kind of stuck. I say dimensions because all around us, if we can feel it in, on, or around our body, we're somehow feeling it in some kind of dimension that's around us, right? So I'm just asking it to leave from all the places you probably stuck the story in your reality field. So and the reason I'm asking also, just to clarify earlier, or the earliest time, what I know is kind of like an onion in a way. If I can take a client back to the earliest moment they imprinted it, all the other pictures of reality that are kind of piled on top of it also leave. Okay, so like for instance, if you had a belief that happened when you're 3 years old, and then you kind of just took it in and you sort of half believed it, but then at 5 and 7 and 9 and 10 and 11, it got reinforced. All those other events and pictures of reality are kind of piled up on top of it and made it more real. And so when I'm also saying across all time, dimension, space, and reality, I want all those other pictures of reality and all those other events and all those other stories to kind of blow up as well.
I see.
So yeah, thank you for asking, because that's a really important point. So because sometimes people think, well, how come I can never get this one thing to leave? Well, usually it's because they didn't go to the earliest energy or the moment where they first took it into their field, and they haven't cleared that. So that's why you hear people say, I've been working on myself for 50 years and I can't shift this one thing. And so that's what's going on.
That's a really, really good explanation. Thank you for that.
Yeah, because stories, you guys have, like, that's why I'm taking you into this emotion and the energy of it, because you guys are starting to see that it's palpable. Like, you can actually feel it if you tune into it. That's why you could be doing your day and all of a sudden you feel tired or heavy. Well, what's going on is one of your old beliefs or subconscious programs is probably actually kind of energetically hitting you and being activated, and you guys have no idea that that's really what's going on. That's creating your tiredness or your apathy or whatever else is going on during your day.
Now, why is it that you ask us to detect if this is coming from a mom or a dad or someone else? Is there a reason for that?
It just helps locate it a little bit better in time and space. Okay, so people can really get that. Number one, we are all prone to lots of self-judgment. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of like makes us go, oh, okay, I was just being a 3-year-old kid and my money's just totally screwed up because I was loving my mom in that moment and I thought I should be like her. It kind of gives us a greater awareness and
I see.
A sense of compassion. Right. Like, hey, this really wasn't mine in the first place, and truly, it probably wasn't your mom's in the first place as well.
Right, that makes so much sense. I see what you mean.
Yeah. So it's kind of just a level of awareness to help kind of, number one, find where the story is, and number two, help you have a little bit more compassion for yourself and others about it.
Beautiful. And I ask these questions so everyone learning really understands how that process works, so that they can repeat it in their own time whenever they feel they need to. Yeah.
No, thank you very much. Because I always sometimes forget what people don't know because I've been doing it for.
Well, that's my job. It's when I talk to brilliant people, brilliant healers, and people like you, is to help create a framework or a structure so everyone listening can replicate it.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll ask one more time this question. What's the earliest time in your life that making or creating money was hard? So what's the earliest time in your life? What age making or creating money was hard? All right. And did you pick this up from mom, dad, yourself, or someone else? Okay, perfect. And what's the main emotion that's attached to this? And do you feel this emotion or the sensation or the story about this in, on, or around your body? Where do you feel it? In, on, or around your body? Okay, so bring in a lot of light in that place, and I want you to clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Please clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Okay, and any other level of consciousness that wants to leave right now that makes it hard for you to make money or create money, clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Okay, perfect. All right, is there anything you want to talk about that came up, Vishen, or should I go to the next one?
Again, I'm just in awe at how these memories come up.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's really funny. Like, I mean, the common thing that I hear from people is, I haven't thought of that in years. Why is that there?
Right. In my case, I was maybe 11 or 12 years old. I had a box of electronic gadgets in my room. I was trying to create something or invent something, and I felt so helpless because I couldn't get it to work.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, so then you could be in daily life. This is what people need to really get. You could be in daily life, 40, 50 years old. You're trying to go create money. And then that feeling, that apathy or helplessness or whatever it is, will kind of wash over you and kind of, in a way, take away your motivation, right? Because all of a sudden now this feeling or this file kind of got opened. Now, what people sometimes don't get is they go, well, why did this feeling or this file get opened right now? Well, when you make a powerful choice or you set a new goal, what happens is all the things that are in the way of this new goal are going to kind of show up in your life. So that's when you hear the stories about people saying, yes, I decided yesterday I'm going to go make $1 million. And the first thing that happened is my car broke and my washer and dryer broke. Right. and you know, something crazy happened. Well, what's happening is your soul's making you aware, not from a torturous place, but from an awareness place of, hey, you have these things that are in the way, and I'm going to light them up for you really big so that you finally pay attention and clear them. So it's kind of cool how our soul will help us. Now, the thing is if you do this technique, I find that you don't have to create these big dramatic circumstances so that you can see what's quote, quote, wrong with you or what's in the way. If you actually tune in and be intuitive, your soul doesn't have to do the big drama things.
I see. That's a really interesting insight.
Yeah, I find that people who are willing to tune in and just pay attention, they don't have to create some big Shazam that says, look, you have this belief over here. So, yeah. All right, so I'll go to the next question.
Just before you do, so if there's a big Shazam, if there's a big drama that just emerged in your life, is there a way to peer back within and figure out what belief was causing that so that we can clear that drama?
Yeah, so we'll do that one right now. So everyone just kind of think of some big Shazam or like, holy crap, I can't believe this happened to me kind of trauma thing happened. All right, now I'm going to ask you this question. What's the first age that you ever felt that feeling or belief that created that drama? So what's the first age that you took in that feeling or belief that created that trauma? And get an emotion about the trauma. Like, what's the main emotion underlying it? Okay. It just got really heavy because we're talking about this trauma thing. Okay, and did you pick this energy up from your mom, from your dad, from yourself, or someone else? Okay, perfect. And where do you feel this in, on, or around your body? Okay, where do you feel this in, on, or around your body? Okay, I want you to bring in a lot of light. So we're not only going to clear the trauma, we're going to clear the initial thing that you bought and sold and brought into your life, okay? So bring in the light, and we're going to clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. And for some of you, you need to bring in a lot more light because I can feel it's pretty heavy. So bring in like a fire hose of light and just blow this thing away. We're going to clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Okay, one more time. There's a little heaviness on it. Clear and transmute it. Okay, no more trauma. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the lesson. If it's not leaving, sometimes you can ask this question, what did I learn from this experience? Okay, and then it leaves a little bit easier. Okay, clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Okay. So did you have anything new show up for you, Vishen, when you asked that question? Or it's like new awareness, or was it something that you've already seen or worked on before?
Yeah, yeah. It was something I suspected. It was
Okay.
yeah. It was something a little bit more personal. So sharing it with 3,000 people would be a little
Yeah.
bit odd. But it was. I
Sure.
just I just got back from Burning Man. That major art festival in Nevada, and
Yeah.
75,000 people attend Burning Man. And there were particular days in Burning Man when I was there with this mass group of people appreciating art, and it's a huge festival. And I felt really shy and unable to talk to people, and that's not normally me. But I felt really shy and unable to be as open. I felt in some ways even insecure, and I couldn't understand why that was coming up because I hadn't felt that since I was a child. So doing this, what I remembered seeing was being a 6-year-old kid coming down the stairs in my house where my mom was hosting a big dinner party with friends and family, and being shy as a 6-year-old kid because there were so many guests in my house. But hearing those guests openly tell my mom, "Wow, your kid is so shy," and
Uh,
and that thought entering my head, I'm shy, I'm unable to talk to strangers, I'm unable to create a conversation. And then I had this major flashback of me just hiding around a corner, being afraid to even walk back into my room in case I stumbled upon someone and had to awkwardly start a conversation.
Interesting. Well, see, you even brought up like the point, which is labels, right? So these judgments or these labels that people project onto kids, kids really take that in and go, "Oh my gosh, I guess I am this," right? And then later on, you act it out because you've now imparted that into your reality field. And so it's really powerful what we say to kids. We should tell them that they're, gorgeous and smart and, all knowing and can
Right.
create anything. And so, yeah, thanks for bringing that up because that really illustrates that some of these things are just, not what you normally pay attention to. Why did
Yeah.
this show up?
And what's interesting about this particular training, Christy, and all of you listening, is that I'm realizing, so not am I just learning a really beautiful technique from you, but I'm realizing how sensitive I have to be to the words I use with my 6-year-old son and my 1-year-old daughter.
Yeah. I always said, like I wish I could I always thought about writing a book, and on one half of the book would be how to create a gorgeous child, right? How to create a smart, successful child, and the other side would be how to ruin your child. And not that I would want to teach anyone how to ruin your child, but sometimes you learn from what happened to you or what the negative was that happened to you, and you can kind of twist it and go, "Oh my gosh, I don't really want to do this anymore."
Right.
But yeah. Okay, cool. So should we do a couple more, or
Yes,
do we have
yes.
time for that?
Yes, let's continue. We have time. I want to make sure that those listening they really understand this, and this becomes a tool that they can replicate in their lives and even use with family members.
Yeah, exactly. Like if your kid is in distress, or your spouse is in distress, or your employees, right? Something kind of comes up and the crap hits the fan.
But
Okay, what's the first time you had this belief? What's the
right.
reality you're holding this, messing this up?
Right, but boy, I can tell you, it's interesting having so much of this stuff come up in just a short period of time. I'm gonna have to lie down after this, maybe
Exactly.
cry myself to sleep.
Well, just think of it as like years of therapy and only
Right,
45 minutes.
right. So let's complete the process. What else do we need to know to really use this powerful tool?
Well, basically, what are the most common beliefs or blocks is on receiving. So I want to ask this question for everyone right now, to just kind of tune in and say, at what age was the earliest age that you blocked your ability to receive? Okay, because oftentimes as kids we're taught to, "Oh, that's selfish if you take the big piece of apple pie," right? Or, "Oh, you can't have that much." So at what age is the first age that you blocked your ability to receive? And did you pick that up from mom, dad, yourself, or someone else? And what's the main emotion about it? And where do you feel this in, on, or around your body? Okay, so bring in a lot of light, and we're going to clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. We're going to clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. One more time, big fire hose of light. We're going to clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Any other part of you that wants to be healed right now, that you're blocking your ability to receive good things, please clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Okay. I can feel a shift happen right there. All right. And I'll ask one more time, is there any other age that comes up where you started blocking your ability to receive? Okay, and that was that mom, dad, yourself, or someone else. And what's the main emotion behind it? Okay, and where do you feel it in, on, or around your body? Okay, cool. So bring in a lot of light, and we're going to clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. One more time, clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Okay, I can feel a big shift with that one. Okay, so I'm just going to ask everyone just to have a little bit of an inner assessment and see if this kind of changed. So regarding abundance, scale of 1 to 10, 10 being happy and easy, where do you feel like it is for you? Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being happy and easy, where do you feel like it is for you? And has that number changed? And just to be practical about it, so here's the takeaway. All those other areas of your life where you had assessments, you can go into those areas of your life and you can, ask different questions. Like, for instance, you're with a family member, okay? Like, let's just pick your spouse or your significant other. And you could say, okay, we all seem to have this funny little thing that happens, whatever the funny little thing is. And you can kind of go in and go, okay, well, so what's the first age that I experienced this kind of communication with somebody? And then start clearing it from there. Because usually relationship stuff is I always liken it to each other person's, the past 30 years of their junk and the past 30 something years of your junk kind of collide, and that's what you guys are in a relationship with. You know what I mean? A lot of people aren't really in relationship with the soul of their spouse. They're really just in relationship with each other's junk. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's kind of, so you can go into the different varying parts of your life and just ask those questions. At what age was the first age I experienced it? Who did I pick it up from? And is there a main emotion attached to it? Oftentimes you'll start seeing there's this theme of emotion that kind of has kind of taken into your energy field. A lot of people maybe run the theme of anger, or a lot of people run the energy of victim, okay? And so it kind of usually goes, if you ask enough questions, you'll see that it's affecting every area of your life when you do these kind of inner assessment. Right. So is it?
So thank you, Christy. That was beautiful. Let's recap. Let's recap for everyone. So the first thing is we recognize. So I'm going to try to recap on behalf of everyone, and you will correct me and help fine tune the process. So everybody gets it. So the first thing to recognize is that we take on beliefs. We take on beliefs energetically that go into our system. These beliefs shape our reality. So what we believe creates our reality, but we often don't know how these beliefs got there. We often don't know that these beliefs are false or imaginary, or were based on input that people told us, such as adults when I was a 6-year-old telling me that I was shy. So these beliefs form who we are. And a lot of the areas in our life where we aren't operating at a 10 out of 10 are because of these insidious little beliefs. So the first step is, in relationship or abundance or health, we can ask ourselves certain questions to gauge how comfortable we are. Okay? Yeah. That's correct. Now, this list of questions, is there a specific series of questions, or is it something that's easy to just come up with?
Well, basically, the main flows is, just think about the main flow. Okay, the main flow in life is like with abundance. Okay, it's, can we keep the money? Can we make it? And can we receive it?
Got
right?
it. So
with any flow, it's usually that. So with like communication with a significant other, okay, can I receive this human being? And can I receive what they're telling me?
mm-hmm.
Can I create a powerful conversation or relationship with them? And can I keep and maintain it? Right?
I see.
So all the flows in life are pretty much about keeping and making and receiving.
I see. So that's a beautiful way of looking at it. So even with health, it's, can I maintain my health? Can I create a healthy body? And can I? What's the third one?
Can I receive it? Okay, because so for instance, like let's just say somebody has a weight issue. Okay. Generally speaking, they can't receive a healthy body because they're using their body as a barrier to protect themselves from the world at some level. Like they're trying to numb themselves or shut something down, right? So they can't, they're blocking receiving, right? In that way. Or they might not want to maintain it because, again, there might be some subconscious belief of, oh, if I get too hot and sexy, then I'm going to get crazy guys hitting on me, right? Or that's a common belief with women, by the way.
I see. So it's keep, maintain, receive, or keep, receive, maintain. Those three help us gauge the questions. So we ask ourselves on a scale of 1 to 10, and we are able to recognize which areas we score low.
Yes.
And then we relax, we close our eyes, and we ask ourselves, at what age did I first start feeling this way? Did I phrase that correctly?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so then that memory comes to mind, and we try to trace it. We then ask ourselves, who did it involve? Mom or dad or someone else? And we try to identify where in the body it is. Then we picture the light coming from the center of the earth and from above, zapping into our system, going to that particular area of our body, and the light just exploding and eviscerating that belief.
Yes. Yeah, the belief and all the stories and mental image kind of pictures that you have attached to it. So when light's coming in, it's like we're blowing up the whole reality. So the pictures, the thought forms, anywhere you made it real.
And then we go back and we ask that same question and gauge our number again and see if that number has increased. And if it hasn't, we go back in, try to find another age in our lives where that belief happened, and we heal that. We blow that up. Yep. Did I leave anything out?
No, it's perfect. And the only reason I like to attach the question about emotion is just, again, so that you can see if you have a certain theme in your life. Like generally, we all have kind of a theme of what emotion we run, and gauging the emotion is a cool thing, because if you can get all the places in your life where you've ever felt that emotion and blow it out of your life, if somebody's doing victim, you know what I mean? Or somebody does the first emotion as angry, wouldn't it be cool that you get that main emotion out of your life? So it also brings up an awareness.
And what is the phrasing again for that question on emotion?
What emotion is, behind whatever the event is that you're picturing? What's the main emotion?
Got it.
What's
perfect.
The main emotion?
Perfect. What is the main emotion behind the event you're picturing? Okay, so that part I left out. So we when we have a realization of the event, we want to know who's there, what is the main emotion, and where in our body that emotion is. And that's where we draw the light to. Beautiful. Yeah. So we'll put that all up in a PDF so everyone understands the system. That was absolutely amazing. So thank you. I've done these sessions with you so many years, but now I can understand better how you're actually applying it to people.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for asking these really good questions so that people can really get that there's many layers to it, even though it's a simple technique.
Right.
It has profound life-changing effects on people.
Right. This is one of those calls that I probably want to listen to a second time so it really sinks in. And one more thing, 2 side things that occurred from this is, number 1, be consciously aware of what you're telling kids and young people, especially those under the age of 7. And number 2, if you're going through some crazy upheaval or drama in your life, it could be your soul's way of trying to get you to deal with something that happened in your past And you can use the same process by asking yourself, why am I going through this upheaval or drama, to try to understand where that came from.
Yeah, because the reason people don't get over trauma, I mean, Vishen, generally is because they don't understand why did this happen. So people are usually in this like, why did this happen? Because people want to fix it. You know what I mean? People want to be helpful in their own life.
So,
and if they don't understand, then that's the event that kind of gets stuck there for quite a while.
So what's the phrasing? What's the phrasing we would use for that when we're asking ourselves that question?
All right, so let's just say, I don't know, it's some huge breakup that you didn't see coming, or I don't know, something. We'll pick that as the example. So then we'll just ask, okay, so what's the first time in my life that I experienced something similar? So you can ask it that way. Or you could ask it, what's the first time in my life I felt the same kind of energy?
I see.
All right, because sometimes they just know, I just feel heartbroken, right? And or betrayed, that might be the main kind of, so what's the emotion behind it? Well, betrayal, abandonment. There might be a series of emotions. And then you ask, okay, so what's the first stage I felt that?
and then you identify who was it from, what is the emotion you're feeling, where it is, and then you use that question to bring in the healing energy. And there's a beautiful way you phrase it: heal all.
Yeah, heal all of it, across all time, dimension, clear and transmute it, heal all of it across all time, dimension, space, and reality.
Clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Beautiful. So thank you, Christy. Do you have any closing thoughts or anything you'd like to share?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. Just, I want people to post feedback and stuff like this. I'd love to hear the crazy cool stories that happen when people transform these things. I mean, if you guys saw some of the amazing testimonials about, oh my God, I changed this one belief and then I went and made $1 million. I stories like that. So, and I want to hear everyone's story that, the feedback that comes from it.
That's beautiful. So thank you so much, Christy. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you.